business or an opportunity to be able to, help yourself and help other loved ones. So introduce Sam. He's going to talk a little bit about that.
Okay, thank you. All right, good morning, guys. For those that don't know me, you're going to know me real quick. I'm a very simple, down-to-earth guy that is trying with all his heart to do the right thing for the right reasons. And there's nothing complicated about that. But I get to talk about money. Is that important to you? Yep. I mean, I know it's a foolish question, but come on, really think about it. What are you doing to make money? What causes you to make money? Is it time? Why is your time going that direction? And these are important questions. Are you getting the results that you want? I don't know. I'm not, as far as working hard for money. And I want to help understand that as Dr. Noah goes through all the science of what Protandim is, you're going to be blown out of the water. But what happens when you have something that has such tremendous potential for somebody that was willing to do a little bit of work? Does money motivate you? And if the answer is no, then ask the question, why are you going to work tomorrow? Motivates you one way or another. What I want to go through is a little thing called a cash flow quadrant. And a guy by the name of Robert Kiyosaki, he wrote a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. If you haven't read the book and you're not interested in the business, read the book anyways. Because it will add tremendous value. It will help you understand completely. What Robert Kiyosaki talks about is how cash flows. Is that important? Yep. I don't care if you're a doctor, a garbage man, or a waiter, working in food stores, you're making money. Now the question is, if you're making money, how are you making money? And then where does the money go when you're done? He says there's 4 different ways. One is E, S, B, and an I. E stands for employees. Anybody here have a job? I have a job. Okay, I'm an employee. What am I looking for here? I'm looking for security. What's security? I go to work, I get paid, and I don't have to worry about anything, right? How much more is there of that out there? We're very, very, very much in trouble as a country. Second is self-employed. Look for specialists. Dr. Noah's a specialist. This is his business. Anybody here own your own business? I own a compactor company. I work 2 jobs. I started my compactor company in '96. Why? Because I didn't want to have to listen to somebody else. I like being the head honcho. I like being in control of my time. I like to make as much money. You are an independent contractor. He sets his own hours. Rogelio. Challenge being self-employed is what? You got all the overhead. You got all the risk. You ever work for a solid month and didn't get paid? What would you do if you worked for a whole month and your boss didn't pay you? I worked for him a whole month, and not only did my boss not pay me, I had to pay him $18,000, and I wanted to beat up my boss, and I'm the boss. As a business owner, you have all the risk, all the overhead, all the responsibilities. Not saying it's a bad thing. All I'm saying is, as far as involvement of time, what's the return of investment? Then there's B quadrant business. What they look for here are systems and duplication. Now those are very important words. Very simple words, but very important words. See, the wealthy, and I'm going to throw out money here, and I don't think money is the most important thing on the planet, but it affects everything that's important to me. But the wealthy think differently. They go out and invest their time to where they can actually walk away and continue to earn income. Then there's investing. Who likes to be an investor? That's where money works for you. Is that a good thing? I've worked for money my whole life. It sure would be sweet to have, instead of me being a slave to the dollar bill, be a master to the dollar bill. Whole different concept. But here's the challenge. 95% of Americans are focused on 5% of the wealth. Is that a bad thing?
Yeah.
Well, if we're the wealthiest country in the world, my question is, how in the world did I buy into that? Am I a dummy? I don't think so. I'm a pretty smart guy, I think. But how did I buy into that?
We were trained.
That's it. 95% are focused on 5% of the wealth. 5% of Americans are focused on 95% of the wealth. The only question I had was, how can I get over here? I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a looker. I'm teachable. I'm hardworking. I can invest time. But I've never had anybody who was able to teach me how to get the results that the 5% were getting. So Kiyosaki's whole point is go find somebody that has it and learn from them. That's the whole point. So our goal is to create a bridge here. Now here's the challenge. There's 80 million baby boomers. Any baby boomers in the house? I'm not. I'm not that much older than you, but I'm not. Baby boomers, they've controlled every major trend this country has gone through for the last 40, 50, 60 years, right? Now think about it. As a business owner, if you can get in the front end of the trend or the back end of the trend, where would you want to be?
Right.
The front, right? Why? Because that's where all the money's made, right?
Sure.
60s, what was the trend to be in? Diapers. Why? Because there's 80 million baby boomers out there. Think about it. If you're going to start a business, isn't that where you'd want to be? Right? In the 70s, what was it? Schools. Why? You got to educate them. You got the largest population this world's ever seen going to school. So what do you want to focus on? Where are the opportunities at? The front end of a trend. In the 80s, what was it? Minivans. Why? Families. They're having kids. So if you're going to start a trend, if you're going to be in the front end, what would you want to be in? Minivans. In the 90s, what was it? Housing market, stock market. Think about it. Anybody here an investor? Stock market? I was in 99. I thought I was brilliant. I made some moves. I thought, watch out, Warren Buffett. I'm coming on over. I know what I'm doing. I bought a stock for 50 cents that went up to $16. I was it, right? Right? Anybody in the stock market in 2000?
Yeah.
Me too. It went down so fast I had no idea how to get out. Everything I had was gone. I had no idea. And then I hear the stories after stories after stories of people who I absolutely love that lost 50, 60, 70% of their retirement. What are the baby boomers focused on now?
Diapers.
Two things. Yeah, back to diapers, you're right. Two things. One is retirement, which is wealth. Is that a fair statement?
Yes.
Most baby boomers are in trouble. Second thing is health. They want to feel better. So if there's ever a time to be involved in those opportunities, it's now. Realize it's now. Our whole goal is to help you build a system that you can walk away from, and it grows independent of you. So, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, read the book. It's fantastic. We're going to go into a video. It's an 8-minute video. It's done by ABC Primetime. Now realize, ABC Primetime doesn't come to you and say, I want to do a video, unless you got something of great value. This was done in 2005. What year are we in?
2011.
A lot of the things they talked about was 6 years ago. Can we hold just...
Oh, sure. Well, it's no longer science fiction, but science...
A lot of things they're going to talk about was 6 years ago. A lot of it's already come through. They found this company that had created this product. We talked about the science just a few minutes ago. They found Protandim. The gentleman that created Protandim is Dr. Noah, who met him 3 weeks ago in Utah.
No, Dr. McCord.
Dr. McCord, Dr. Noah, they're all doctors.
I'm very flattered.
He's very close, though. If there was going to be another, if there'd be another Dr. McCord, it's right here. Dr. McCord, in 1968, discovered SODs. Now, he's the father of free radicals, world known. Absolutely incredible what he's done. Put together Protandim. In 2001, product is out working. And now, here's the key thing: it works. How do you know it works? I guarantee once you're on it, you'll never get off it. If you understand the value, you'll never get off it. So in 2005, ABC said, this is fantastic. Can we come and do a special on you guys? Absolutely. Now these are scientists. These guys understand how to create a world-class product that can change your life physically. That's fantastic. So from 2005, the next couple of years, they skyrocketed. There was huge things that took place because of all the advertisement. It was so good, Oprah Winfrey from the Oprah Winfrey Show had them call and say, listen, we want to come on your show. And nobody called back. That's a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing for us because what an opportunity. So as you go through and watch this ABC video, watch a couple things. One is watch what happens to his blood work after 2 weeks. 2 weeks. And then watch the credibility of the doctors that are talking about it. So please, we'll go now. This is his specialty. This is what he does. He's an expert in this field. And as you listen, as you leave here today, you're going to realize, oh my gosh, what a tremendous, tremendous gift Protandim is. So please, Dr. Noah.
Yeah, so once again, I want to to thank you for coming out on a Saturday. It's not totally a beautiful day, but I'm sure there's other things you can do. So what I'm going to be expressing a little bit about my excitement in terms of this revolutionary type of product. Like Sam says, there's a big shift going on in terms of population demographics. This 80 million group of what are called baby boomers are shifting into their golden years like that, and that has some excitement. One is that the largest group, they have the most disposable income. Second thing is, if they do like previous generations, it could bankrupt this country, if not the world. Because if you continue to be sick and the high cost of medical intervention, that's going to have an impact financially. Plus, it's not a very rosy picture in terms of what you can be looking for. I tell my patients, if the doctor or health provider tells you that, Sam, yeah, just live with your problems because you're getting old. You need to not walk, but you need to run out as fast as you can. That'd be like you going into a car mechanic and saying, Sam, you need a new car. You need a 2012. This is a 2008. That's way too old. You look at that mechanic and just think, what's with that? So that's what we have today to express to you this particular type of compound that's able to do this. Compliments of Cindy. Thank you very much. Revolution, and that's what we'll talk about. This is something that's breaking all boundaries in terms of not only in terms of nutritional products, but actually in pharmaceutical and genetic engineering, which we'll talk about briefly here. A revolution in the battle against aging. So now we actually have a tool, a substance, this little yellow pill right here. That's it. One a day, as we'll talk about. Doesn't get any easier than this to be able to actually do that. And as Sam very, very, very accurately says, we got the science to prove it. Just like we were talking about the other night, Gary and Sam used to be boxers. Well, they can boast. Sam said, hey, Gary, I can beat you up. And Gary said, no, I'll take you down in 2. They get into their arena and into the ring there, and we'll find out what's true. That's what science does. You can make all kinds of hypotheticals, and that's what they start with, a hypothesis. You have an assumption, and then they see if the science really warrants what's going on like that. So another little article I give out to my man is a fight against the aging process. That's what we have here. We have something just like these two fighters here, something to actually fight against this. And it's a natural product, a process. From Dr. McCord's talks about from 0 to 20 age, that's what's called growing. From 20 to 100 until you die, that's aging process or death. And so you have different options to do. You can make changes to slow that process down. You can actually reverse the process of aging. Now, we can't change what's called chronological aging. Sam here, he's only 29 years old, so we can't take away from when he was born to where he is today. But biologically, does he have the body of a 29-year-old, an 18-year-old, or 150-year-old? We have the means of actually testing that. And one of those ways is these T-bars, as you saw in that. That's what Sam was saying, was able to decrease within 2 weeks, and in 30 days, everybody, I didn't say 75%, I didn't say 98%, everybody came down. And the older you are, the more type of aging process, the better you had. You range from 40 to 70% reduction. So you can't lose. If you're young, good. You maintain that youthfulness. If you're 60, 70, brings it down to that age like that. And so that's kind of exciting to be able to, once again, have these tools to do that. Now, as we'll talk a little bit later on, I go through the literature. One of the compounds, as you heard, is catalase. So only 4 things scientifically, once again, not my opinion, not my thoughts, I wish I could, it's been shown to, once again, increase longevity, how long you're going to kind of live. Caloric restriction, of course, what you eat and what kind of food you do. Resveratrol, another type of natural product from like grapes and things, people might have heard from that. Catalase, which was discussed there, and glutathione, which we'll discuss like that. Here's a little boasting. There's a product out on the market that's boasting you can slow down, stop, or even reverse graying of the hair. And that's what it states here. It says, go away gray is a natural alternative to hair dyes and other harmful chemicals. We can talk about the toxicity of that. The main ingredient is catalase. Hey, that wouldn't be nice. Look younger, be younger. So that's what's out there. That's what people are excited about. This product does that. We'll go through that. Hundreds of different things. You don't have to take 100 pills to do what this one little pill does. That's what's so exciting. How about this one? Glutathione, which we'll talk about. Skin whitening. Does it really whiten skin? Absolutely. This product, once again, increases glutathione. Well, there's one study that showed that catalase, this compound increases calories by not 1%, not 20%, not 50%, not 100%, 1,200%, 1,200%. How about glutathione? How much does that increase? Everybody?
300.
Exactly. So who wouldn't want to put $1 into your investment and get $300 every time you got in terms of investment? Like 300%. This is getting so hot. Here's a well-known medical doctor here, Dr. Gott, kind of an old-fashioned. He's the most read in terms of newspapers medical doctor in the country. And what does it say? Dr. Gott and talks about the master antioxidant, which is glutathione. And he states that he thinks it's great. He states that what research shows, Lou Gehrig's disease.
ALS.
ALS, that's right. Is that like having a little blemish here? Is that like having a little owie in your hand? No. A neurodegenerative disease that's very destructive, very terrible. If you have cancer, cystic fibrosis, this is what he's saying. This is what the science says. Asthma and a number of other ones. Now the point is that, which he didn't know, and I actually emailed him and gave him the science, there is little documentation to support the theory it actually increases levels within cells if you just take glutathione. So even a very well-researched and well person doesn't know all the facts. And so, as Sam will talk about the timing, most doctors don't know about most of this. Definitely lay people don't know about that. So this is an exciting opportunity to be kind of getting in, to have something that does so much work, to be able to help people get well. So I've been in practice and I've been in I've worked in health food stores and started co-ops and collectives, and as Sam said, which is nice, I am pretty well known. I've taught at Stanford, at UCSF. I've started at an alternative or integrated medicine program at UC Davis Medical School. So I'm sort of the go-to kind of guy in my field like that because, I know the science. And so when you go to see a medical doctor, they don't want to talk about, Sam, hey, I'm feeling really better. My grandmother, my dog's feeling really better. That's nice. Okay, next. We want the science. Where's the science? Cite me the citations, like that. And so that's it. So you have to kind of think about, where did this product come from? And the story goes is that two gentlemen approached Dr. McCord. And the reason why they approached Dr. McCord is, like Sam said, he's a superstar. He's an MVP player. He's a gold medalist in terms of the Olympics. Because as he said back in the late 60s, he and his senior professor at Duke University found a whole new type of understanding about aging process and disease. It's called free radical biology. Before that time, it didn't exist. So just like the Wright brothers, there was no flying before that happened. Before transistors, the modern technology that we see today in terms of microchip would not exist. So that's why this is revolutionary. This is kind of goes beyond just the basic type, day-to-day type of things like that. So he's the captain of the ship. He's the top guy. He's the head honcho. He's the man that we basically look to because he's got that reputation. Not just in terms of Napa and Solano County, the world. Anybody that's ever gone, regardless if you're taking biochemistry in Japan, South Africa, North America, Asia, whatever it is like that, everybody, once again, starts to basically understand free radical because it's the fundamental foundation of disease and health. And so his name is that. In fact, he's so famous, SOD that he discovered is actually measured in his name. Just like I don't hear that I'm going to go over to the gas station and put in 25 cents or my car gets 30 miles to a gallon. It's not like 30 miles per Dr. Noah, it's not like something like that. Here's actually a measurement after his name like that. So that's how big he is. And as we'll talk about it, that's why this product has such great acceptance in terms of the rest of the world, and especially even in the drug world, because of his reputation. The second thing is the science. And the science, hopefully we're a science. Hopefully people don't think that the earth is flat and there's an Easter bunny and Santa Claus like that. They're nice little stories, but we want to deal with facts here. And so the science is that this product, this one right here, this little yellow pill, has unbelievable science, more so than a lot of drugs. And so as we'll talk about, that's exciting to me. Once again, just like with Sam and Gary, they can boast who's the best, but end of 3 rounds, we're going to find out who's the best. And that's what this has done. This has done the science, and it continues to do science. And as I was telling the other night, I talked to my colleague, the reason why this is so revolutionary, and it's like there's no competition. These studies cost millions of dollars. There's 20 other scientific studies. No company out there, I don't care what was, we'll talk about in business, have like, hundreds of millions of dollars to just put into research. See, that's how much it is. But because, as we'll talk about, this is so powerful, we don't have to, when I say we, the company doesn't have to pay to do this research. The scientists see the value of this and say, hey, all we want to do is use your product. You don't have to pay us. And that's the second thing, or the second thing we'll talk about, the science. And we talk about there's 3 different types of levels like that: Pee-wee football, high school, college, and professional sports. Science is the same way. So Pee-wee football is we all get together. Gail, who's is in here, host, we go into her kitchen, we throw some herbs together, we put it in a capsule. I come back and put it into my 2 practices here in Napa. I do a little study, try to publish it, and boom. So that's good. But people will say, okay, well, Dr. Noah, I know you're from New Jersey, so maybe you're not always up and up. So so that's what we're doing, because it's too much in-house. So okay, well, that's fine. I mean, I did live in New Jersey, but now I'm out in California, so give me a second chance here. So then what we do is a second tier, or second party, is that I live in Davis, and so I go to one of my neighbors who's actually the dean of chemistry, and I say, Bill, hey, do you want to do a study for us? Here's $100,000, and we're going to do some oxidative stress. We're going to do T-bars again, maybe before that happened, and we're going to see what kind of changes. Publishes it, and it's great. But they're saying, hey, Bill's a nice guy, but we know grants are tough, and money talks, and you're still from New Jersey, so we don't know what's going on like that, because he might think, well, if I get a good results, and this bears out because drug companies actually been busted almost every year doing the same thing. They'll go to a high institution, pay different types of professors to lecture and stuff like that, and all they are basically salespeople. And they find out the studies weren't correct, they cheat a little bit, so that's it. So everybody wants the third tier, third party. Third party is saying, Dr. Noah and your gang there, we don't want anything. We got money from the National Institute of Health, American Heart Association, American Cancer Association. We just want the product because we're excited about, as we'll talk about, what it does. And that's what this product has. That very few drugs have, and almost no natural problems have like that. So you can look to anybody's eye to eye and say, hey, yeah, this is scientific, this stuff works. That's why we, like Sam said, we can make these kind of claims like that. So that's the important part in terms of me, of what's happening around the world. So right now, not sometime distant future in Star Wars and looking for the Force and stuff, right now, there are other universities, there have been studies at little places like, at Harvard, Louisiana State, University of Colorado. So these aren't health food stores. These aren't, someone's backyard. So now they're doing studies on high altitude sickness. They already did 2 studies on skin cancer. They're doing about photoaging, which that's why there's other people coming in. Kidney problems, arthritis, AIDS, periodontal disease. They already did one on pulmonary hypertension. They've already done one on some other heart disease, asthma. They've already done one on muscular dystrophy. So you can see here, and also what's interesting, this is international, because international doesn't have any language barriers. 1 + 1 is still 2 here versus it's over in Japan or anywhere else in the world. Same as with science. If you're able to bring down oxidative stress, that applies to everybody like that. As what actually Dr. McCord, anything that breathes oxygen benefits from this. Not just mammals, anything that breathes oxygen, because that's what oxidative stress comes from. So actually, I'm going to actually do a little experiment with actually using plants and see if there's going to be a little difference with plants, see if there's a little difference there. So anyway, that's just my own little thought there, kind of visual thing. Because sometimes people will, pay more money for their beautiful African violets and their health, and they're also, which is true, I mean, I've been in this for 30 years, I know that's the case, and they're also working on things for pets, and that's definitely, people will go to Davis, spend $5,000 on little Fluffy, and they won't pay anything on their own self like that.
Yeah.
So they're coming out, and right now, I've actually have patients now, it's a little harder, give the pill, and the animal does definitely feel better in terms of arthritis, aches and pains, energy and stuff like that. So, but they're all trying to come out with that. So the other factor is that they're doing some studies in Mexico, the University of Mexico, Czechoslovakia, they're doing another study there. They're doing one up in Canada, Sweden, Wales. So that's what shows you here. This is something like nothing else. That's why this is a revolutionary product. They've never seen anything that does that. So here's the Dr. McCord. We talked about the science. Now we get into genetic engineering. Dr. McCord is the founder of oxidative stress, free radical biology. He's blown away what this product does. It goes beyond just oxidative stress. It goes into genetic engineering. He's now been able to show that this product, once again, works with about 500 to 600 genes in what's called the survival genes. So, I mean, yeah, it's nice to know about your hair color, or if you have hair, or what color your eye. Those are nice. But, I could live with, my eyes were brown instead of blue, or I had more hair or didn't have hair. Those are things, these are survival genes. These are things, prevent like heart attacks, heart disease, cancer, diabetes, neurodegenerative diseases. So that's what you want in terms of what's kind of going on here. So I happen to go through the literature all the time, and Sam, who's that from? What health food store is that?
School of Medicine, Stanford.
Oh, that's not a health food store. That's right. So this just came out yesterday. New discovery. Talked about revolution. New discovery. That's what Stanford says. In terms of suggests tumor suppression, reducing tumors, which is cancer, can have and not kill healthy cells. So there's a controversy that's been going on. Chemotherapy, we can talk about that another time. Maybe go watch Don and Cindy's thing. I discussed some things about that. Is that chemotherapy is this balance of trying not to kill the good cells and trying to kill bad cells with the cancer cells. They're finding a new discovery by researchers here suggests a way to help tumor-suppressing protein distinguish between healthy cells and cancer cells. The protein, p53. Oh my goodness! That's one of the 600 survival genes, and that's specifically in one test showed that this product works on p53. Now p53, what big deal about that? It's the holy grail of cancer. You fix p53, no one gets cancer. How's that? That's pretty right, Margaret.
Awesome.
What it does is p53 goes down your genes, and say there's some radiation, there's some chemotherapy, or some carcinogenic compound, causes a mutation to occur. p53, if it's working right, that's the key, goes in, checks it out. If they can fix it, great. If they can't, kills it. End the story. We're getting to the source. Now with women going in for mammography, another big question we could talk about another time. The best that mammography can pick up, when we first find the smallest amount, it's 1 billion cells, billions of lots, and the woman's had it for at least 12 years. How's that getting to the cause of the problem? I mean, it's like, oh, here's a little termites. Oh, that's right, and it's been there for 12 years. Well, the whole house is once again contaminated.
That's right.
So it's way too late. That's what's exciting. That's what this product does. Oh, that's right, but it helps with your skin helps with your hair, helps you your joints. I was just showing her on I have YouTube, Dr. Noah or Protandim YouTube. Check out all my patients. I have people, pain goes away. They have more energy. Gary back there, stamina endurance. He's doing a little thing called the Navy SEALs physical therapy, not physical, physical fitness examination. Where
Cancel that boxing match.
Exactly. So here's a gentleman, definitely over 39, but once again, he's able to his benefit. He does other good things. There's other more good health than just eating, taking Protandim. That's the importance here. So that's what this one product does. Because people will just say, oh yeah, well, I take milk thistle. Okay, great, that's great. And I've lectured about it at the UCSF about actually milk thistle and some other herbs like that. Well, Dr. McCord, being a scientist, saying, I think this is so special, I'm going to just do another scientific article published in Free Radical Biology, it's a journal, to see if this is a little bit different than just anything. So all of us here, everybody's done with Cementa before. Cementa is a powder and liquid, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, good. Because last time I did bread. Oh, maybe I should do bread again.
Bread.
Is just because you have the ingredients doesn't make bread. There's 5 ingredients in bread, but if you put too much, yeast in, you put too much water, too much flour, it doesn't come out bread. Same as with cement. You have to have the dry and the wetness just right for it to kind of go down. So that's the same thing with, just because you add things together doesn't necessarily mean that it is better. In fact, there's another company called Metagenics that shows that it actually can be worse. And that's what he's able to find by combining these 5 herbs, how much better did the success come out? What would you guess? 10% maybe? 5% maybe? 25? 100? Stop me when 500%? 1,000? No, obviously I haven't stopped yet. 1,200%? 1,500%? 1,800%, yes. 1,800%. Exactly. Well, that's why I'm going to stop. But that's what the science says. Otherwise, I'd be lying to you. If I said it was 2,500, it's not. So that's what this shows you the power behind it. Because that's what I hear. Well, I don't want to do that. First of all, who's got the time to go and buy 5 bottles, whip them all out, try to figure out the ratio? I mean, come on. And and the last part, we'll tell you, $40 a month? Come on, please. Come on, don't insult me. If you have any type of consciousness about your health, the well-being of your friends and loved ones, $40, $1.66 a day? Come on. There's just nothing out there. The other big issue is about these antioxidants. And we kind of talk about the different types of antioxidant people have. Now, some people had some chocolate. This is kind of a special type of chocolate. It's from Belgium. It's raw. It has over 80,000 ORAC value, which is a high, once again, a type of antioxidant value. Really good. So remember 80,000. That's really good. But, you have to, take about 3 of those. 3 of those are equivalent to about 5 to 7 servings of great stuff. That's what's called exogenous or outside the cell. So inside the cell, that's the engine of the body. Just like a car, when you turn on the engine or when you're alive, you make energy and there's byproducts, just like there is in a car. You turn on the car, the gasoline goes into the cylinder, explodes, blows out this exhaust. Once again, depending on how tuned up it is, how much pollutants are in there. Same as with the body. You're living, mitochondria make energy, and blows out. Well, that goes outside, and that's outside. And that's where antioxidants can be helpful, on the outside. And but as you can see, another part you didn't see, but unfortunately it's a 1-to-1 ratio. You have to have like 1 antioxidants of the chocolate or blueberries, other good things like that, to 1 antioxidants. How many antioxidants do you make in a day? 3 times 10 to the 27th power. 3 sextillion. So there's no way, as much as I like chocolate like that, that you're going to eat that many, because there's just not enough time. Here's a little, I don't have sextillion, but here's a little concept about numbers. 1,000,000 seconds would be 12 days. 1,000,000,000 seconds would be 32 years. 1,000,000,000,000 seconds would be 32,000 years. And we won't go into the debt and other things like that financially. But that just shows you how big that number is. There's just no way, no how to work on that. Now, what this works on are different enzymes. This works on a 1 to 1 million. 10 to the 6 is a million. Per second. So as a kind of example, so there's a big fire going on. There's a big fire in your backyard. And it's starting to come close to your house, and you're getting scared. So you can do the 1-to-1 ratio. Take 1 cup, throw it on the fire, go back in, like that. Throw it on the fire, and it takes time to do that. What's going to happen? House is going to burn down. Or 1 to 1,000,000, so it's not 1 cup, it's 62,500 gallons per second. So what would you rather have? A cup? To put that fire out, and that's what you're having with this oxidative distress. Oxidative distress is fire in your body. Fire destroys things. Oxidative distress destroys things, causes aging, causes cancer. That's what you want to do. So that's the power per second. And in my practice, I have a little visual. I like visual things. We talk about the same thing. So as Dr. McCord says, up to about age 20, there's this kind of balance there. Now that's changed because, unfortunately, our children are just as sick as people now. Now they're finding studies that people as young as 8 and 10 years old already have advanced heart disease. They already have type 2 diabetes. And they're 8 years old. So they're already old people at 8. They don't even get their 20. But in terms of ideal thing. So up until that time, everything kind of goes well. And then at about age 20, things start to go in. This type of, just like we talked about the engine over here is now spilling out. Now exhaust is kind of going out and going out in the outside and causing other type of damage like that. So you can take, you can take, chocolate. That's kind of nice. Get a couple blueberries. Those are good. Whoops. You can get some broccoli. But let's say, because of that 1-to-1 or that cup like that, very kind of difficult. Or what we can do is go in there and turn off. That's what we do with this. As Sam said, and as the science shows, within just 30 days, the oxidative stress is down to a baby. So that's what we're doing. We're turning off the source. And that's what's it's kind of exciting. So, thank you very much. Afterwards, I'll be happy to tell you how I really feel about this product.
That's right. $40 a month. I've done things in the past, I'm spending $300-400 a month. And some of you in the room know that. $40 a month for a month's supply. Wow. But then look at the health side. If this happens to your body, is that worth $40 a month? That's worth $4,000 a month. I mean, there's tremendous value. So what I want to talk about is timing. And I like this word timing because I never understood the value and realized we're on something today that I probably will never see in my lifetime again. I want to help you see that. It'll take just a few moments. First of all, this is coming from Harvard Business School, so this is not coming from Sam Holland. There's a lot of credibility here. But what they talk about is looking at direct sales companies. Why are they of value? Why do they work? Why is Harvard Business School teaching students how to be involved and work with direct sale companies? First of all, they say ground floor opportunity. And that word pioneering, talking to Gabe Pearson, he's out of Florida. He's a dynamo in the company. The man moved faster than anybody else to Pro 5, and you'll understand a little bit later what that means. He talks about pioneering. Are we pioneering Protandim? I mean, this is proven. All the science is done. All I have to do is say, listen, go look at this. I like the word pioneering for this reason. If you go out the door and talk to 100 people and ask them, what do you think of Protandim? What would the 100 say?
What?
I would bet the 100 would say, what's Protandim? Mm-hmm. Now, you go 5 years down the road from all the science and from people like you and I that are excited because of all the health advantages. What are they going to say 5 years down the road? Well, Gabe Pearson, who's working with the Mayo Clinic, trying to get into the corporations to help lower health costs for companies, he's completely convinced. One is 100% of the people will know about it, but 60 to 70% will have it in their house. Now, when you're going from nobody knowing to what it is, the majority of Americans having it, what does that create? Opportunity. And this is an S-curve, and any business goes through this opportunity. So first of all, you're looking at pioneering stage ground floor at 125,000. At this point, that's where they got a proven product. Do we have a proven product?
Yes.
We have some of the best scientists in the world that are just going crazy over this. We have a proven product. Do we have a proven company? Absolutely. They went trying to sell this in GNC stores, trying to do typical distribution, trying to sell the product. But the only challenge is, and they brought in David Brown, outside source, that we need help. Help us get this company moving. We're losing money every single month. He looked at the product, immediately said, I know what the problem is. Protandim has a story attached to it. Somebody has to tell that story. So this is a direct sell product. So 2009, they took all the products out of the store, no longer selling in stores, and then went straight into direct sales. 2009. 2 years later, 2 years, fast forward, they went from selling $3 million a year in the stores, right? Credibility, GNC, professionals, correct? Into direct sales. They're going to close the year out at $30 million this year. Went from $3 million to $30 million. What's super exciting is worldwide there's about 25,000 reps. Ground floor is 125,000. There's 25,000. We're in the U.S., we're in Mexico, we're in Japan, and they're just opening Australia. So this is where the real opportunity really, if you can find a business from Harvard Business School beneath here that has everything put in place, it's probably the only one you're going to find in your lifetime. That's first of all. Second of all, you talk about momentum. Momentum is when you get past the pioneering stage, and this is where 80% of the growth of the company comes from. Now, who would like to participate in momentum even if you don't know what you're doing? Great example. Gentleman Amway, hates Amway, doesn't like the products, has nothing to do with it. He gets a $25,000 check every single month. The guy goes, how are you doing that? He says, it's real simple. My grandfather got an Amway in the 60s.
Wow.
He's dead now. I receive a check in the 60s. So I receive a check for $25,000 every single month. If there's ever a time to be involved in a company, it's prior to going into momentum, because you will discover something that's absolutely amazing. And then there's stabilization. And every company will go through this. We'll go through this. 2 to 7% of the growth. That's where I got experience in Amway. It's a great experience. But I joined it when it was a $6 billion company and they had 3 million reps. Is it a bad thing? No. I got experience in MonaV, got experience in ACN, but every one I've ever experienced, they were already in stabilization. I missed the boat. The boat hasn't even started yet, guys. This right here, if you truly understand what Harvard Business School is talking about, is there's 2 things you must know as you leave here. One is be on Protandim. I don't care what you do the business or don't do the business. What I like about that is this. 6 to 7, we'll say 65% of all LifeVantage numbers are strictly customers. They're called preferred customers. Now, if you have any experience in networking, if you were a distributor, you were the customer. 1, it's expensive, you can't afford it. 2 is, the results were questionable. In this company, 6 to 7 out of 10 say, I'm not really interested in the business side, but I would love to be a customer. When you have that kind of ratio, oh my gosh. Second thing to get, you'll probably never, and I'll speak for myself, I will probably never be on the front end of momentum in this kind of opportunity for the rest of my life. And what's that worth? I'm a hard-working guy. I've been working 2 jobs for 13 years. I'm a father of 4. I love listening to Dr. Noah because I get pages of notes every single time I listen to him. But there's a system in place. You don't have to be an expert in the medical field. Everything's online. The simplicity is there. This is designed for the masses, not for the elite. It's great doctors are coming on board. And his whole goal is, as doctors start to see it, they're going to be coming on board left and right because the science is there. You do not have to be an expert. All you have to learn how to do is tie into a system that works. So this right here, great product, but if you understand this, it's caused sleepless nights for me. Sleepless nights. It's a good thing. I want to show quickly what it takes to get involved. Investment-wise, there is an investment. It's about $600 to sign up to become a distributor through LifeVantage. What's the value? Well, first of all, you ever owned a business? $600 is nothing. Compactor company, I've had it for 13 years. First month in business, made 1 mistake, cost me 18 grand. Made a big mistake. I didn't think it was that big. They did. $18,000. $600 to sign up. What does that give you? Well, I recommend you get 13 bottles of Protandim. Now, there's 2 products. We don't talk much about the other one, but it's great. It's a skin product. It's absolutely fantastic. My wife loves it. But you can get 13 bottles of Protandim. There's $535 worth of product. $65 worth of marketing material. And we actually have a story here where she signed up, a young lady didn't have the money to sign up. You know what she did? She pre-sold her bottles before she even got involved and had her money back immediately. I don't know if that's the right thing to do. You may not think so. Okay. She made like $1,100 her first month. Okay. I know what the correct thing is to do. I'm saying, don't do that. And Gabe says, well, why don't do that? If you had no money and you saw an opportunity of a lifetime, is it not worth going through that? Absolutely. How do you make your money back? Real simple process. Can I use you, Jack? Is that okay? Sure. Because as I spoke with you a few minutes ago, you told me you'd never do something like this again. How that changes, huh? I said the same thing. I told the guy no 3 times. I got aggressively, I said no. But then I saw the science like you. I was like, oh my God. The way it works is real simple. All you're going to help you do is doing what we're doing today. And I got to tell you guys, these meetings are fantastic, but I do 80% of my work from home. All I do is go home. I say, go to A, B, C, Health, Report.com. Go watch a 12-minute video. I do 80% of my work right here. Let the experts do the work. It's all online. Everything you need is right here. That's all I do. We're going to help you go through this process. We're going to help find 3 people that either want better health or better wealth, whatever it may be. And there's 7 different ways you're getting paid, and I didn't pass these out, so as I keep talking, I'm going to pass these out. Thank you very much. There's 7 different ways you're going to get paid here. I'm just going to go over a couple. Why? Because since we've got involved in this business, we're receiving paychecks every single week.
No.
And that's weird. We're receiving paychecks every single week. But here's what's even more important. Every company I've ever been involved in, I've made money. The challenge is my teammates weren't making money. Teammates are making money. So, your first 3. You're going to make $210 profit off each distributor that's put into your business. So, 210 times 3, 210 times 3 is how much?
6:30.
Help me out here, I need help. So $630. What does that pay for? Your sign up. I mean, it's that simple.
And you still have 13 bottles of protein?
You still, that doesn't, I'm not even talking about, you can retail these as $50 a piece. You can sell these all by themselves and recoup your income. I've never seen that. You got 3 individuals, boom. You know what they do with your 4th one on? And now I said you're getting kind of good at this, Sam. Now we're going to pay you $260 every time you set up a new person. So we talk about sponsor 5, make 5. Now you're going to make here $520 off 2 more. And there's not only your payback for the investment of a business, but now you made $520 more. What an opportunity. It's not that difficult. Anybody can do this. But here's what really got me excited. Now, this is pretty cool. You know they pay weekly? Weekly? You know you can get signed up this week and get paid next week? Weekly. You receive paychecks every single week. You hear weekly. You have checks that come to your house that have your name on it. And they're not $20 checks. They get pretty big weekly, okay? But this is what really, 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 really motivated me. And this is why we have the blessing to work with Dr. Noah.
This is what I get right here, a little check. Comes in the mail.
Weekly!
Right.
And most of them are bills, which but I look forward to this one.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. But here's what I tell you. LifeVantage was designed by direct sales experts to benefit the people doing the work. And one of the bonuses, as you look on here, there's 7 there. We just went through 1. I mean, we didn't go through very much here. We just went through 1. If you look on the back side, every time you sign up a customer, you get paid. There's another one. But we're going to talk about the elite bonus because this is the one that motivates me. The elite bonus is where you're Pro 7. We're Pro 3s in the business. We'll probably go Pro 4 this month. Pro 7s, it probably take you, if you're good at this, 6 months. People have done it in 18 months. It don't matter, whatever you want to do. But as a Pro 7, what happens here? Once you go Pro 7, they take 4% of the company and they put it into this pool. And what I like about this pool is over 50% of your income long term will come from right here. Over 50%. So this is a big thing. It may not be the money you're going to get paid next week when you get those checks on a weekly basis, but this is big. And what they do is they take all the Pro 7s, 8s, 9s, and 10s. They take all the Pros 8s, 9s, and 10s. They take all the Pros 9s and 10s, and then all the Pro 10s. I've been in this thing a little over 2 months. There was no Pro 10s in the whole company. Now there's 1. Jason Domingo. Our 2nd week in the business, we're working with Gabe Pearson. I get a phone call. Sam, Jason Domingo is going to come do a plan for you guys. Okay, great. Who's Jason Domingo? He's only the biggest rep in the whole world in the company. I said, he's coming to Napa to work with us? Are you serious? The company is so new. You're working with the leaders of the whole world in the company. Amazing opportunity. But what happens when you get Pro 7, you get 1 share out of this one right here. When you go Pro 8, you go share here and share here. When you go Pro 9, you get 3 shares. When you go Pro 10, you get 3 shares. Now here's the value. Now get this. Jason Domingo is an expert. He's very good. How would you like to make money off his ability, off his work, off his business? The company takes, we're all one team here. They pull all this income together And you, as a brand new person who's not even a Pro 1 yet, you can be a Pro 7 in the next 6 months, and you can be making money off Jason Domingo's team. Now, if you understand what I just said there, you can make a profit off the whole world of Protandim, off everybody's business. So we're one team. It's not just my team. It's all a team. This is going to be 50% of your income long term. That's pretty darn exciting. Pretty darn exciting. And I don't see you guys jumping up and down yet, but you will, because when you start receiving checks every single week, it's hard not to, okay? It's hard not to. So that's the person that brought you guys, I mean, the new people, hey guys, from my heart to your heart, this works. God, this works. Financial side, I'm losing my compactor company. I just lost another account. I've got the income where my family's not going to fall apart from this. I don't know what that means to you, but it means a lot to my wife because it talks about food and everything else. It means a lot. Health side, we've got something that's going to affect everybody. And to be able to see the results immediately. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring you back up, Dr. Noah. We love to open the floor. Everybody has questions. There's no wrong question. Throw out whatever you want. I'm going to sit down because I'm going to throw out questions too because I love listening to Dr. Noah. But thank you for opening your office. We're doing Wednesday night meetings in Napa in his office. We're doing Thursday night meetings at Gales. We're working together on those. Thank you for your time. You are a blessing. Huge blessing.
I think the biggest part is what Sam was saying is I'm going to take my coat off. You don't have to be a doctor. Now I'm just going to talk to you as a common Joe or common Ed here. It's a real simple process. In fact, I'm trying to learn because of my profession, I get too technical. As I said, you direct them to your, and that's one of the nice investments. And when I do my little presentation about it, how many would like to start a McDonald's, start a business? $1.5 million.
Wouldn't be able to sleep.
How about Subway? $800,000. Yeah, $600, please. It's like $40. Then you're not interested in the business. But like you said, at least you should be on it. Once again, there's nothing. I'll put my coat back on. There's nothing out there. I would talk to any of your doctors, look them straight in the eye, and we'll go toe to toe, just like Gary and Sam in the ring there and fight. I'll go with them because there's nothing out there. So if you really are truly a health professional, you have to have this in your system and also your patients. End of story. It's real simple. You just send them to the, like I said, those are the experts. Here, you don't have to have Dr. Noah or Dr. McCord Jr. You can actually have Dr. McCord right there. You just send them to him, and so part of the $600 is, you also get, like I said, that $65 is all kinds of promotional information, advertising. How much did it cost me to put my sign up in my office right here? $5,000. Yeah. Here they give you a little, I don't have them right now, but back there, they give you little newspapers. Jack, you can just rip. Show that to everybody. You get some of those. You get some DVDs, or excuse me, you get some audio cassettes. You get some DVDs. What other system for $600 right there is worth $600 just for the advertising. Plus, you get a website. So you just send them to your website. You follow up. You call. There's what's called a three-way. You just call someone else. End the story. It's no hard pressure. You get it or you don't. You understand like that? It's not like God, you got to join here. I don't care. I'm going to be on you all the. That's the bad reputation of that multi-levels and network marketing.
Here's my neighbor. You had to.
Well, there you go. That's right. You know where you live. That's right. But that's it. You share the experience and then you move on. Okay, maybe not now, maybe later. Maybe when they do the next ABC thing, then you'll be knocking down my door. But you had that opportunity like that. So that's the fun part. I'm actually trying to make this more simple. Try not to talk too much about everything I'm kind of excited about. So I'm trying the best I can, but it's hard for me, especially when I put my coat on. I kind of get into that mode there. So I'm just trying to explain just real simple concepts that you can just say in 30 seconds. Fountain of youth. Do you want to be younger, be healthier? Do you want something that there's no other, and Sam and I, there's no competition. There's nothing out there. Once again, great chocolate, there's other type of products out there, there's other type of things. There's nothing like this that's able to scientifically reduce the aging process and to work on these 400 to 600 survival genes. That's easy. And it's one a day, $40 a month. That's it. like you said, as you can see in my office, I'm in other network marketing, so it's not like I have to be in this. I mean, I just, because I'm always looking for the best. So when I look for chocolate, that's the best chocolate in the world. When I look for something for the face, I have another company that, to me, they got the science, they got the technology, that's the best. Now, this company does have something like that. Maybe if they give me more information, I'm willing to change. But right now, I haven't seen that. So I always look at it, and that's why I can look at anybody. No, I mean, I'm in 4 other type of network marketing. I don't have to do this. But I'm looking for the best things for myself and for my patients. That's what I do. That's my specialty. I work with medical rejects. People that have gone to Stanford, like Gary, Mayo Clinic, like Mayo. He tells the story. And he was dying, and he would be dead. And then he comes in here. That's what most of my client or patients is. So I don't have that luxury. So I'm always looking back. So this is the best. And as Gail pointed out, which I always say like that, if I was stranded on a desert island and I have access to any other type of natural nutrients in the world, there's one thing I'd take on the island, it would be this, Protandim. Because what's in it? One pill. Now, having done backpacking and stuff, yeah, maybe there's some other things. I could bring this whole case like that. But hey, I got swept over, in a desert island. If people can remember back, there was a TV show about those 4 people who passed away, and Gary can sing the song. This is what I'd want on that island there for a lifetime of use, to be able to have something that does so much. And as we already talked about, Dr. McCord, the founder, the discoverer, it's like the Wright brothers, discovering back then, rocket ships. I mean, it just blows their mind. Where they started, that's what's blowing, Dr. McCord's mind. This is going into genetic engineering. So thanks for coming out on a Saturday. And have so any questions?
I have one.
Yes.
The McCord units,
Uh-huh.
those measure T-bars or SOD?
SOD, yeah.
Okay.
Particularly, it's in chemistry. I mean, there's lots of chemicals and things, and people usually measure things in, there's standardized units. It's very generic, it's like a milliliters or moles and things like that. That's what makes it so special. I mean, I can only think of a couple other ones where they actually put a name behind the measurements, and so Dr. McCord has that honor, which is pretty amazing.